Hello, my name is Noah Quiet, and today I'll be presenting my game idea, A New Era. There are three main characters that the player will play as in the game A New Era. The first person is Flux. He is the leader of the group and the most powerful being in the world. You find out that he is an half-angel sent from the heavens to bring peace to the land of Grandin. He is adopted by General Jin, who is the father to Yeager. The next person that you will play as is Yeager. He's the brother to Flux, and he's the tracker of the group. He can sense things from miles away, and he uses two daggers. He's known to get angry and go into fits of unstoppable rage. The only person in the world who can stop Yeager pretty much is Flux. The third person you'll play as is Terra. She is the princess or daughter of King Rufus, the current king at the start of the game. She uses a bow that was passed down from her ancestors, which can change out the arrows in the blink of an eye. The secondary characters that also play an important part of the story is one of them is General Jin. He is the father to Yeager and adopts Flux, making him Flux's father as well. He dies in the beginning of the story, so he's not in the game too long, but he does play an important role. So the next person you'll play as is Troy Ego. He is the main villain in the game and the second most powerful man next to Flux. He just wants to see Grandin burn. He used to be the commander of the Royal Army under General Jin, but wanted more power, and General Jin noticed that he was going to betray his country and exiled him from Grandin. The next person that you'll learn about is King Rufus. He is Terra's father and is the current king at the time. He dies shortly into the story and is replaced by the hand of the king, King Reaver. Next is King Reaver. He replaces King Rufus in his untimely demise. He also does not like to get along with Flux. A new era takes place in the world of Trumore. Trumore is split into three kingdoms: Grandin, Vysteria, and the Land of the Shamans. Grandin is where all the characters are from and where the story takes place. The capital of Grandin is called Utopia. Utopia is where the academy is and where all our heroes meet each other. The world of Trumore, like I said, is split into three kingdoms, and Grandin is in the middle, and it is also the wealthiest. Here you can see an example of the layout, with Utopia in the middle and Grandin. To the right of Grandin is the Kingdom of Vysteria, and to the left of Grandin is the Land of the Shamans. Surrounded by all the kingdoms are called Wildlands. That is the green you see in the picture. This is where hard monsters live, and they are not easily killed, but will reward the player with a lot of loot. The smaller white circles you see in the picture are little towns that are part of the kingdoms. The main plot of the story is that Troy Ego plans to destroy Grandin. He starts by killing the current king, King Rufus, and he is replaced by King Reaver. Troy Ego is being hunted down by the three characters the whole time. All he wants to do, he is trying to build a device that sends the creatures of the Wildlands into fits of rage and cause them to attack anyone they see. This is his plan to keep people in fear and make him the one true ruler of Trumore. Troy Ego wants to control monsters and keep people in fear, and he will kill or bribe whoever he has to do so. So for gameplay, the game will be a single-player open-world RPG, and it will be mostly played on PC or major game consoles. It can be played in first-person or third-person. The dialogue will be branching except for the main quests. So in side quests, depending on your answers, different things might occur, resulting in different rewards. Characters' gear and outfits will be fully customizable, including haircuts and some tattoos. I like the idea of tattoos on the characters, and that will be the player's skill chart. As the player progresses, more tattoos will appear, and you can also be able to customize the looks and placements of them. You'll also be able to customize haircuts, swords, bows, and any other things you can think of. You can switch between the three main characters based on playstyle. The combat system will be similar to Skyrim, but spells do not need to be equipped to do a hand to use. Everyone has spells, and they have their own spells, and they will be used by a third button instead of a trigger. So for a story comparison, I was kind of thinking it has its own feel to it. I really like the development of my characters, but I also noticed it has a JRPG feel, like a Japanese role-playing game feel. I definitely think my characters will be Americanized with their looks and talk, like a standard American video game. It could be compared to titles such as Tales, like the Tales series, such as Tales of Vesperia and Skyrim, but what I think is unique about it is it combines elements of both games into something completely original. Things that work well in my game is the story makes a really good RPG title, especially with the quests and characters that I have created. Another element that works well is the characters are different enough to give it almost a class system. You are able to play as any main character to get your preference and can switch at any time. Terra using a bow is the ranged character, while Flux is the short-ranged warrior type, and Jaeger is the thief, tracker kind of stealth character. All the level progression is the same for the three characters, so you don't have to constantly switch. So for future ideas, I was thinking, since the story focuses mostly on the Kingdom of Grandin, that possible DLC content could include the other two kingdoms. Even though you will get to explore their lands, you won't get to learn much about the history of them. Also surrounded by the land of Trumore is the Sea of Monsters, so you will be able to explore the Sea of Monsters. Another possible idea for a sequel/prequel would be to play as a young General Jin, King Rufus, and King Reaver when they were all friends as the kids in Academy. They all started where Terra, Flux, and Jaeger are at one point. Finally, I have a box copy mock-up that I made. This would be the cover of the game title, showing that each character can be customized fully to your preference. I hope you liked my game.